What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I made a Thanksgiving leftover sandwich. It's enormous. So I got this rosemary loaf. I wrapped it in tin foil, put it in the oven at 350 for like 15 minutes just to warm it up a little bit, crisp up the outside. Then I heated up some turkey, white and dark meat. I added a little bit of chicken broth to the bottom of a plate and then added the turkey in. 30-second intervals, flipped it. It ended up staying really moist, so I definitely recommend that hack. Then I added some leftover mashed potatoes. I used Half-Baked Harvest's recipe for slow cooker mashed potatoes, so I'll add the link to that in the description of the video. I added some homemade stuffing on top of that, poured some homemade lemony gravy on top of that. It's kind of like my moist maker. You guys have seen Friends, the Thanksgiving episode with the moist maker. Monica adds a slice of gravy soaked bread in the middle of the sandwich, but I figured since stuffing is basically bread, I just poured it on top of the stuffing and let it soak into that. Then I added some of my friend Veronica's sweet potato casserole and some cranberry orange relish. Oh, and I had added some Japanese mayo just on the bottom below the turkey. It's enormous. I just honestly, I was gonna make a much larger sandwich too, and I'm like, Lindsay, don't do it. And now, and I'm like, how the flip am I gonna fit my mouth around this? I just have no idea. I didn't even put everything in here that I was going to. All right, we're gonna cut this in half. Is that half-ish? That guy like that so you guys can see it. All right guys, this is just a huge mistake. let's just see what happens. All right. I got half of it. So good though. It's so hard to make a smaller sandwich than this when you're adding this many things on top of it. I suppose I could have picked smaller bread. I love the texture between the bread, the turkey, the nuts that's in the sweet potato casserole, the cranberries. Oh my gosh. I actually made my cranberry sauce kind of tart this year, but in this sandwich, I feel like it works really well. Really loving the rosemary. It kind of reminds me flavor-wise of a focaccia, mostly because I mostly have rosemary focaccia when I have focaccia. I actually added rosemary into my stuffing though, and I used it in the herb butter that I used to baste my turkey. So I feel like that flavor is already like in the other things and it's going really, really well with it. Redistributing. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm like 100% one of those people that like loves to get some of everything in every bite. So Thanksgiving leftover sandwiches are like, they just speak to me. It kind of feels good to just sit down and eat. Thanksgiving dinner was so good. Like the turkey turned out amazing. We ended up dry brining it with the Grill Dads. If you guys watched Guys Big Project, the Grill Dads have this collab with Spiceology. And so they've got these dry brines and other seasonings. So I used their lemonade thyme dry brine seasoning to dry brine the turkey. And then I made the herb butter and I rubbed the herb butter all in between the skin and the meat. And then I topped the whole thing with bacon, stuffed it, and then put it in the oven. Turned out so good. The stuffing turned out amazing. I made it with challah. The mac and cheese was so good. And like honestly, everything was good. The gravy was a little salty and I thinned it out with some stock. But yeah, it was freaking amazing. Epic even. What a mess. I fully intended on not making a mess. But here we are. Oh my gosh. It keeps coming out. I'm like so exhausted. The holidays are always like pretty exhausting. I cooked so much food. Between the night before, I made the desserts. I made a chocolate mousse, which is so good. Oh my gosh. I bought these just fresh cherries and I pitted them and put them right on top. You could also have them. Made some fresh whipped cream, dark chocolate mousse. Oh my gosh. I had to whip my meringue a couple of times following a recipe, and I feel like it was just super irresponsible. It's like a well-known food site giving instructions on meringue without any mention of like how quickly to put in the sugar or when to put in the sugar, anything about like egg temperatures, which all matter when you're making meringue. And basically just melted butter and chocolate together, then beat egg yolks and sugar together, folded those into each other, and then you have to beat the egg whites separately and add sugar to it, and then fold that all in. But anytime I've made meringue before, and I guess it's because maybe I've used like vinegar or cream of tartar, the whites are much more stable. They end up being like shiny and stiff and smooth. These were never like completely like that. They were almost like whipped cream-y, but not nearly as smooth as before. So the first time I'd added the sugar in immediately because it said to just do that, which I thought was strange, but anyways, added it in immediately and it broke. Like it was just like clumpy, it was not stable. And I knew that if I had folded it into the rest of the mixture, it was just gonna make the whole thing separate and I was gonna have to do everything all over again. So I made the meringue again, and then I sprinkled in the sugar like halfway through beating. So I let it kind of fluff up a little bit, and then I was sprinkling it in 1 tablespoon at a time, just kind of real slow because I didn't want to like deflate the egg whites. All information I feel like that should have been in that recipe. I'm gonna wash my hands again real quick. All right, guys, well, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Another thing that I kind of just wanted to touch on real quickly, not gonna spend too much time on this right now. I know I have this fitness program and I've told you guys that it's tracking based and everything. Really the whole idea behind it is not eating more than your body needs. However, I don't agree with like rewarding yourself or punishing yourself with food. I feel like I've seen that kind of go around in the last few days, and I don't agree at all with like starving yourself as punishment or giving yourself food as a reward for something. To me, I think food is part of your everyday life and you should enjoy it every single time. For me specifically, and for I think a lot of other people, we have a problem with feeling guilty about what we eat. It's something that I've dealt with my whole life, and to me, it's almost like just as bad. I don't want to say it's like worse, but it's just as bad as eating for punishment or as a reward. So I just had to like kind of make that separation. I want nothing more than to enjoy my food and to eat it without feeling guilty. And the way that I have started to eat, the way people eat in my program, that has made it so that I don't feel guilty and that I enjoy my food so much more now. That's really what it's about. We do not promote, even though it looks like it. You guys really like really nice presentations, and I like making those presentations for you. Do I eat everything on my plate? No, I eat the amount that I know that I can eat, and then I stop. I'm not trying to promote overeating in any way, shape, or form. That is the opposite of what I want to do. I just like presenting the food in this way because I think it looks nice. So anyways, guys, food is meant to be enjoyed. Life's too short to feel guilty about it. If you guys wanted to check out my program, there is a link in the description of the video. If you'd like, you could DM me and ask me questions if you have them about the program, though I will recommend that you DM me on the Cake 2 Fitness Instagram page because my DMs at the Hunger Diaries get buried quickly. Oh. Oh, no, not again. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. Happy belated Thanksgiving and happy Thanksgiving leftovers this week. These ingredients are all just as delicious if you pile them onto a smaller sandwich and use a little bit less of them. I encourage you guys to just pile on all of the leftovers though that you have. See how it tastes together. I love doing that. Use whatever leftovers you have in your fridge. Buy a nice loaf from your local baker. Oh my gosh, I have things all over my face, don't I? And don't forget some aspect of a moist maker. It's important because you want the gravy in the sandwich, but if it's not being soaked up by anything, it just kind of runs out everywhere. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining today. I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. I hope y'all are excited about the Christmas / other holiday season. We celebrate Christmas. Comment below what Christmassy, holiday foods you want to see me eat, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.